Hey everybody, Brendan here. Welcome back to the final game of the 13th tournament on my Road to Chess Mastery. I currently am 4 out of 4, and I also won the previous tournament with 5 out of 5, and the previous tournament with that. I only played 2 games, but I did have a perfect score in that as well. I am now trying to finish up this tournament with a perfect score, and can I do it? I'm playing with the white pieces. I'm hoping I can. And let's see how the game continues. We see e4, e6, d4, d5. And what would you play if you're trying to win? Well, what you should play is e5, knight c3, knight d2, all reasonable moves, maybe even bishop d3. I'm not too sure though. I don't really play against the French with those types of positions. What I do play against the French with now, e takes d5. I'm sleeping already. Okay. However, these were positions I was really fond of and still am because they're so boring. You're playing against a French player who wants to play some aggressive chess, play against the queen side or whatever. I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. Let's just trade, get a boring position, and I'll try to win because those are what I enjoyed. I was studying a lot of endgames, and if you're studying a lot of endgames, why not try to get into some endgames? Even if it's equal, try to prove your worth. Play to your comfort is the lesson this time around. But okay, bishop to d3, knight f3, and knight f6. We see knight to c6 and castles. Bishop to g4 and c3, just to prevent any knight b4s now. It's best to avoid them. And now we see the move queen to d6, and this really shocked me because this causes an alignment issue that will be prevalent and is a pretty much deciding the game on move 7. It looks like a natural move, but now we can finally talk about why these types of moves, putting the queen in front of your bishop, unless you're targeting the king and threatening a mate or something, these types of positions are often not good because that's where your bishop wants to go. You want to play bishop d6, you want to play c6, queen c7, or bishop d6, bishop c7, queen d6. However, when you play queen to d6, your bishop is blocked in and it can't go to its natural square of bishop to d6. Now, how do you exploit this? Now, I saw the move rook e1 check, bishop e7. Natural moves, so rook e1, just now this bishop is pinned, but I thought that here there's this very serious advantage with the move b4. b4, actually I don't want to develop any pieces in this position, and the reason why is because now they can't castle in this position. My opponent didn't see the move, but this prevents the move castling. Maybe a move like a6 is possible, but a6, I would just happily go, knight a3, knight bd2, h3. There's just a lot of natural moves, and this is actually a very good space gaining move. But it also sets up a trap, and it's not so obvious. But after castles, the move b5, and we can see the issue. In this position, their pieces are all protected. This is protected twice, and only attacked once. And, well, this piece is protected by this piece, and this piece is protected by the pawn, and this piece. Like, everything is protected and looks safe, but after b5, we see a coordination problem. This piece is all of a sudden, after the move, they played knight d4, but let's just say move like knight b8. This piece is only defended by the queen and attacked by the rook. And as we mentioned before in previous games, when I was talking about this type of situation, when you see positions like this, you need to say, okay, this bishop is actually undefended. It is defended once and attacked once. If we can remove the defender or add another attacker where they can't defend, well, that's how you win in this position. And we can do exactly that with the move bishop to a3. We're attacking the queen, and now again we see this issue. If this bishop were on d6, this wouldn't be a problem. but unfortunately the bishop went to e7 and a queen's on d6. And after bishop to a3, c5 just delays the inevitable, where now they have to move and we can take with the bishop or the rook, doesn't matter. But we're winning a piece. And my opponent saw this and just played knight takes d4. Or after c takes d4, rook fe8, now it's defended, and bishop a3, I still win for because it just trades things off. Queen d7, bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes, knight bd2. Just natural move. And here, we're up a piece, and this game should be winning now. Rook e8, queen to c2. Now I'm just going to go for h3. I'm out of the pin. I also have potential ideas of taking, and also knight e5. So, again, when you are up a piece, use that piece to its full advantage. Queen to d6, h3, getting luft, bishop d7, rook c1. Now I'm trying to win the c7 pawn. Rook c8, queen to c5. I actually really like this move. The whole point is, if they were to take, I could actually pretty much take with the rook, but taking with the... I could pretty much take with the pawn, but taking with the rook also looks best because, well, just this, like, just looking at this position, you can kind of notice that this is just has to be bad. And then knight e5 is coming, but yeah, this is just not good. And c6, unfortunately, just knight e5 immediately should be okay. Yeah, pretty much every way you look at this position, it's just not good. But again, that's because we're up a piece. There's not really anything to talk about. Queen to b6 was played. I ended up playing knight e5. I'm not interested in trading immediately. I just thought knight e5 was better. When you're up a piece, just use your piece. We've talked about this before, and we'll talk about it again. But that's how you prove your advantage. Queen a5, knight takes d7, knight takes d7, and queen c2, just defending everything. g6, knight b3, and a4. Now I want to go knight c5, and possibly take, and again, it looks very nice. But our opponent went a5, and this actually just hangs the pawn. Because after the move queen to c3, we're attacking a5, but also we're looking at c7. So rook to a8, there's queen to c7. They're not just losing one pawn, they're losing at the very least two. And this pawn is pretty much lost as well. But okay. After queen c3, they realize that the pawn is lost, and after knight f6, queen takes a5. The reason why it's lost is rook a8 just really doesn't lead to anything after knight takes b7, rook takes, and taking on c7. Where after they take on d4, there is the move knight to c5. And this pawn's just promoting, actually. It's pretty much impossible to stop. And we actually see this in the game. Rook b4, rook to c6, attacking their knight here. Knight e4, just take with the bishop, and after takes, again, just push. And then push, and then rook c8, and then push. And there's no way to stop this plan. b6, f5, b7, rook c8, and b8 equals queen. The pawn promotes. We win the rook for the pawn, and we play rook e8. My opponent played h5, and I took on e3. And in this position, my opponent ended up resigning because I have a rook and a knight. There's still two pawns on the board, but even if we trade everything off, and we take off the rook, or not the rook, we take off the knight, take off all of the pieces highlighted in red here, this would still be winning. And there's no counterplay in this type of position. It's impossible. Okay, it's not impossible to lose, but you know, if they promote like this or something, but that's just not going to happen realistically. So my opponent ended up resigning, and we finished another tournament with a perfect score. So that was a bit of a nice feeling. It was definitely something I was happy to see, but that pretty much covers it. Now we are going to be going into the 14th tournament, the second last one, to catch up for my road to chess mastery. And I hope you enjoyed this tournament and this game. And well, I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.